You write in your in your book Lucifer's Lodge. Now, I want to take the first part of that, of the Lucifer part. Do you believe that Lucifer is a real being, and is he controlling? Is he controlling the Catholic Church hierarchy, or is he a straw man for people to say, you know, the devil made me do it?
Yes to the first question, I believe in Lucifer, and yes to the second part of the question, I believe that he has infiltrated and has taken control of the Roman Catholic Church. And no to the last question, he's not a straw man. Now, that's what they call in court the Flip Wilson defense. The devil made me do it. And that's not acceptable for human behavior. It's not an accepted defense in a court of law. And human beings are responsible for their actions despite what, you know, if they're possessed by demons or whatever. So the problem with the Flip Wilson defense is if you allowed it, then every crook out there would be blaming the devil for their own abuse of free will. So I don't go in that direction at all.
All right. For those of you just tuning in, we are talking to William Kennedy, talking about witchcraft and occultic crime, and certainly pedophilia is probably one of the worst. Even criminals hate pedophiles, you know. So maybe we need to get a few of these Catholic priests in, get them in jail. But Bill, is the institution of government controlled by the Catholic hierarchy, and that is why they don't seem to be arrested? They simply get fined.
Well, yes, they are. The Catholic Church is usually influential all over the world, as I said earlier, especially when you consider that Catholic Charities is the largest charity group in the United States. They're about 20 times larger than the Salvation Army, and they take care of a lot of problems that the government doesn't have to deal with, including helping poor people and homeless people. And those acts are good. I'm not knocking helping those people, but that undue influence they have certainly has given them incredible leeway in getting away with pedophilia. Now, as the problem is, there's a lot of police complicity in this pedophilia, in that when this was reported to the police all over the world, they chose not to take action on it. And that happens all the time. I mean, there's a seminary in England called the Franciscan Study Center, which the Franciscans have been transferring pedophiles internationally. When they get in trouble with one country, in one country they simply send them to another. Now, what I discovered was the secretary of the Franciscan International Study Center's husband is a Kent County police officer in England, and their security manager is a former captain in the Kent Police. So the Roman Catholic Church actually pays the police to do a lot of their security work and hires them after they retire from police forces. So they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them, and police complicity is probably the biggest problem in the Roman Catholic Church as far as the pedophile crisis goes. Remember, it was journalists at the Boston Globe who won the Pulitzer Prize for bringing this out, by the way, who exposed this. It wasn't law enforcement, and it should have been law enforcement, because they were definitely aware of the situation, and that's all over the globe, not just in the States and England.
All right. We have this question from the live chat. Do you know someone named Alberto Rivera?
Yeah, I've heard the name out there. Yeah.
Okay.
A writer, I believe.
Okay. Then we have this from the Fast Blast. Mr. Kennedy, are you familiar with the Columbus Lighthouse in Santo Domingo? It was supposed to be a lighthouse and a monument remembering Christopher Columbus, but it's built like a demonic Mayan temple. Have you ever heard of that?
I've seen photographs of it, and I've seen stuff on the internet about it. But I'm not absolutely familiar with it. It is a very strange-looking structure. I have seen it, and it does look more like a pagan temple than it does a regular secular monument or a monument to Christopher Columbus.
Okay. One of the viewers out there says they see a demon behind my left ear. If there was a demon behind me, Bill, what should I do?
Well, your best bet, number one, is if you're of a religious bent, certainly say the Our Father, because that is actually a minor form of exorcism when you say deliver us from evil within the Our Father. That is the great thing that demons and the devil hates, is reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Really?
If you're not of a religious bent, what a friend of mine, Dave Considine, who's a lay demonologist for the Catholic Church, and he's been featured on the Discovery Channel's program, A Haunting, on 3 times, he would say visualize a white light about you, around you, and that also repels these demonic forces. But my suggestion is, as I say, certainly appeal to God if you feel you are being harassed by demonic entities.
Okay. Well, then, suppose I had a religious bent toward Islam, then could I know you said the Lord's Prayer, but could I say, like, Allah, Allah, la, 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 like that, you know, how they kind of scream, you know, la, 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 however they, would that be enough to do it?
Well, Daniel, when you look at world religions like Buddhism and Hinduism and Islam and even tribal cultures, all of these tribal cultures have various rituals to expel demons. Possession is one of the universal traits of world religions, and one of the things they look at when they examine religions. And it's quite amazing. There's even a theory that the expelling of demons is the ultimate origin of religions. There are anthropologists who believe this. So I'm not saying what works and what doesn't work, because I'm a Christian myself. But when you take a close look at different faiths, they all have rituals and prayers to expel demons. So Roman Catholicism is not unique in that sense. Okay.
We have this question from the Fast Blast. William, do these pedophile priests have diplomatic immunity being citizens of the Vatican Holy See country?
Some of them do, especially the what's called a nuncio. And a nuncio is a bishop who is a papal ambassador. Nuncio means ambassador. And in Ireland, the papal nuncio, who was there in the 1960s, was informed about a Satanist priest named Father Sean Fortune, who used to threaten his detractors with satanic hexes. If the parents of kids caught him molesting their kid, he would say to them, if you turn me into the police, Satan will haunt you. Now, this was taken before the nuncio in Ireland, the papal's ambassador, and he was supposed to come and testify against Father Sean Fortune, but he claimed diplomatic immunity, which means he does not have to testify in courts of law. So in one case, that did happen.
So he got a pass.
He got a pass, right.
And just one little further note then, when you describe the Pope, and I know they call him the Holy See. Now, when I hear somebody call him the Holy See, I think of the big eye on the dollar bill, because he sees all, knows all. Now, and that's probably not why they call him the Holy See, but what is that all about?
Well, the Holy See just means that the Pope is technically in Catholicism the successor to St. Peter. In his office, not the person, is called the Holy See, but I have heard that compared to the strange eye on the tip of the dollar bill, the Masonic pyramid before, but the title goes back centuries, and it's just a very generic term. It may or may not tie into that.
All right. Well, let's crank this thing down a little bit now. And by your own book title there, and of course you have another book called Occult History there, which is the second book that I have listed on your bio section. But the first book, Lucifer's Lodge, Satanic Ritual Abuse in the Catholic Church. William, does the practice of occultism